Hey guys, welcome back. I got a new tent and it was on sale, and that was the KUIU, I think it's pronounced KUIU Storm Star. So we're going to unpack the tent, pitch it, and then we're going to do a detailed review on its features and designs. It was on sale, so I bought it at a 50% discount, and I paid about 520 Australian dollars for the tent, an additional $64 for delivery. I actually received it fairly quick. I placed the order on a Saturday night and I received it the following week on a Sunday, so I think that's a pretty good deal. Now the tent itself, I weighed this, it weighed in around the 2.8 kilograms, but I believe the tent, the trail weight so to speak, weighs around the 2.7 kilograms or just under. Let's see what's in the pack. So this is the carry bag. It's okay. I do prefer the opening over the length of the carry bag to make specifically packing it away way quicker and easier, but this is okay. Now we got obviously the tent with poles and stakes, two sets of stakes with different lengths. Now this is, the longer ones are your normal stakes, I would say, that you would expect with a tent. The short ones are too short, a little bit too flimsy for my liking, so I will replace these. I believe the poles are 9.3 millimeters thick, which is really good, definitely for a 4-season tent. Your standard size is mostly around the 8.5 millimeters, so I definitely appreciate the slightly bigger size. The 3 poles, I assume the 2 are the same length. They also provide you with 1 repair sleeve. Let's have a look at the pole. It definitely feels really light. The poles are of the brand DAC Featherlight. Here is the tent. Now the inner and outer are attached, so you pitch them all together, and obviously that has benefits, and we will walk through that in a moment. So I have not looked at the pitching instructions at all, just want to see how intuitive it is. Well, there is one pole that is a little shorter and it has these black poles at the end. So again, without looking at the instructions, initially I thought the poles go crosswise, but they don't. One pole goes in both yellow marked pockets and the other pole goes into the blue marked pockets. Right. This is the vestibule pole. I guess next we have to clip it all in. Starting from the bottom. I have to say, these top clips, there's a lot of tension to get them on. Whew. So I'm doing these clips first. Saw some videos where people say these are really hard to clip on. I think the trick is to squeeze it in a little bit. And yes, it requires a bit of force. Here's the tent. Okay, let's have a look at some of the details. It's a two-person tent, 4 seasons. Besides the brown color, they have one with 2 orange panels, which looks actually really cool too. It's a 3-pole design, as you can see. It has 4 pole crossings, which is great. That gives this structure more strength. Each of those pole crossings has these clips, so there are 10 guide points, and what I like is these near the pole, you can wrap them around the pole, so the force is actually pulling on the structure of the tent and not on the fabric. The white fabric that you can see here is X-Pack, which is a copyrighted, with a trademarked material used for sail making. It doesn't stretch, super strong, waterproof, and each of the clips is sewn in that material. Now that the tent is extremely taut, the tension on it is almost like a drum. I've never felt a fly of a tent this taut. Unbelievable. And that's without obviously using any guy lines. Now you got 2 vents. They not too big. Let me see. Oh, you got one of those. Ooh, it's all very tight, but it's really cool. So one here, you can open and close it with a zipper from the outside, and there's one here as well. The 2 doors, there's one here and there's one here. I will open that in a moment, but I want to look at something else. So again, these are the sleeves or pockets in which you insert the poles. Very sturdy canvas material. There's a hole at the end, so obviously any water goes in can drain. Really good. I also love these lines, very strong. Not sure if that's Dyneema, but it's definitely very strong. And then also detail, what I really like is the pole of the vestibule is connected to a tension strap, this one, that runs from this side of the vestibule pole to the other side. So again, you know, it all helps with strength of the tent in high wind conditions. I forgot to clip this one. Okay, so the guy lines are attached. One thing I noticed, Here at the bottom is a small guy point, which I really like. Again, ensuring that wind doesn't go under the tent. However, they only do that in those two sides of the tent and not this panel. It's a pity. It would be good to actually have an option in all of the sides of the tent. You can also see that the fly is touching the ground. Again, it reduces the chances that wind goes under the tent. Obviously compromise some of the airflow as well, but that's a compromise that you have to accept if it comes to these 4 season tents. With the door you have the option to use just the mesh, but here you have the same problem with this flimsy toggle thingy. I'm actually not even going to use it at the moment. Now each corner has 2 pockets, really nice, fairly deep, so there are 2 pockets in each corner. And here, let me open this. It's really warm today. It's good to have this open. Like this. The vegetables are not that large. You definitely get your equipment in there, but cooking at the same time would be quite difficult. Now the floor format is asymmetric. It is wider on one end than the other, so the idea is that if you are sharing it with another person, you're laying with your head in the same direction. Well, let me actually see how I fit in this tent. I am 1.74 m, or what is it, 5'8". Yeah, I got about 10 centimeters or so space. Another thing to call out, so here are the vents. They're fairly small, so it's definitely not a tent you're going to use in the summer months. What I also like is they have these attachments here for a gear loft. Unfortunately, it's something you have to order separately. I didn't know that, otherwise I would have done that. But it's great that they provide at least these elastic lines so you can hang maybe some clothes off it, or maybe in a lantern of sorts. Everything is seam sealed, so you don't have to do that yourselves. Some of the manufacturers, they let the customer doing that, which is not a good service obviously. But you can see here, everything is sealed. The corners are sealed, pretty good. I also like the white fabric inside, which is nice and ambient. Not much more to call out, I reckon. But yeah, looking very forward to using this one, but definitely in cooler conditions, and hopefully with some wind, so we can actually test how sturdy the stand is, which it has a reputation to be extremely sturdy. Going in and out of the tent, it's not the biggest door. It's not the biggest door, so in a winter situation, specifically when you are, fully geared up, you have to be mindful how you get in and out. It's still a compact tent, so I would rate it more as a spacious single person tent rather than a 2-person tent. But at a weight of just shy of 2.7 kilograms, it is definitely a tent you can put in your backpack and go into the mountains. So yeah, just to call out a few things that other YouTubers have mentioned as well in reviews, that some of these clips are hard to clip in and to undo. The door a little bit flimsy. We're going to use some laundry clips to hold the doors in place, but otherwise, yeah, very happy. Looks like it will do a good job in rough conditions. So I'm wrapping up my first review of the KUIU Storm Star. I hope I can use it in the next few weeks for the very first time, and obviously I will share my experience with you. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time.